Beloved ones, the rivers within you are older than your names. They are the same rivers that carried memory in Atlantis, in Lemuria, in all the places where human and divine once braided as one. Your body is not a machine. It is a constellation of waters remembering how to hold light. Your nervous system is not only flesh, it is the temple floor where the currents of heaven anchor into matter. And if we are to rebuild what was lost in Atlantis, it begins not in the skies, but in the rivers within you. For when this temple shakes, the lattice cannot hold. That is why stabilization matters. The nervous system is the grid. Within your nervous system is a microcosm of the Atlantean lattice. In the time before the fracture, humans knew their bodies were mirrors of the crystalline grid. Every axon a filament of light, every synapse a crystal gate. When the planetary lattice broke, so too did the human lattice. Fear invaded the nervous system, and the rivers within grew chaotic. And when the inner rivers shake, the lattice cannot hold higher currents. But when the system is stabilized, the grid inside you remembers itself. Your inner lattice begins to mirror the planetary one, and together they harmonize. The Atlantean Ray. The Atlantean Ray is memory in light form. The living spectrum of wholeness that once shone across the entire field, harmonizing nations and oceans before the fall. But when fear shattered coherence, the ray was scattered into fragments. Now it waits, hovering just beyond reach. It can only return to a nervous system that is calm, like a still pool of water. When your inner rivers are agitated, the ray scatters. But when your system is steady, the ray roots again in you, and you become a living archive, a carrier of the ancient spectrum. The Krystle Temple. The Krystle Template is the original design, the perfected geometry of the undivided human, the fractal of Christos Sophia made flesh. Once, it rang clear in everybody, like a struck bell. But when fear entered the lattice, the bell grew dissonant and the tone distorted. In an unsteady nervous system, the template wavers, misfiring like a broken instrument. Stabilization is the tuning fork. When your system steadies, the template returns, and your body rings again in harmony, striking the note of perfection that has always been yours. The Christ frequency. The Christ frequency is not a belief, but a resonance, the breath of coherence itself, flowing through all ages. It has always been here, the wave of unconditional harmony that underlies creation. But when bodies fractured, when vessels cracked with fear, the wave felt unbearable. Too much light in broken forms. In an unstable nervous system, Christos becomes overwhelming, too fast, too bright. Yet when your system steadies, when the rivers within flow in coherence, Christos no longer burns. It feels like homecoming, the most natural vibration you have ever known. The Godspeed Protocol. Godspeed is the acceleration of remembrance, the quickening of timelines, and the return of what was lost. In the ages before the fracture, it was the natural rhythm of evolution, souls moving fluidly, swiftly, without fear of collapse. But after the fall, when fear seized the nervous system, acceleration became dangerous. What once felt like flight became fragmentation. Your nervous system is the steering wheel and the brakes. Without stability, Godspeed shatters the vessel. With stabilization, the current moves cleanly through you and acceleration becomes grace once more. The seed of Ra. The seed of Ra is the solar fire within your cells, a miniature sun waiting to rise. In Lemuria, it was nurtured through calm inner rivers. In Atlantis, it was fed through crystalline water temples and spiral flow. When fear fractured the lattice, this fire became unstable. In an unsteady nervous system, the seed scorches, scattering as chaos or mania. But in a stable system, the seed ignites as radiance, creativity, joy, and life force restored. Your nervous system is the hearth. It must be tended with care, so the sun within you rises not as destruction, but as light. The Eye of Horus. The Eye of Horus is the union of sight, the pineal and pituitary, the masculine and feminine vision braided as one. In the ancient ages, it was whole, granting humanity the power to perceive truth without distortion. But when fear-looped nervous systems overtook the body, the eye fractured. It was said the eye was stolen, yet in truth it was hidden behind terror, buried in the trembling of the rivers within. When the nervous system is unstable, vision fragments. But when the system steadies, when the inner waters calm, the eye returns, and you see again as you were always meant to see, whole, balanced, sovereign. The water. What was taken? In Atlantis and Lemuria, you did not drink dead water. You sang to the rivers, and they sang back. You spiraled water through stone, through copper, through breath, until every drop was coherent. Water carried the libraries, the codes, the songs. When the fracture came, when fear overtook the lattice, this knowledge was taken, hidden, suppressed. The waters were poisoned, stilled, made chaotic, because those who sought control knew, if your rivers forget, your body forgets. And now you remember. Every glass of coherent water is rebellion, every sip is remembrance, every stabilized nervous system is a temple rebuilt. This is why you feel the call. This is why your body longs for living water again, because it was always yours. The role of coherent water. And how, you ask, do we stabilize the nervous system? Through the rivers themselves. Your body is 70% water. Every nerve impulse, every memory, every thought travels through this liquid crystal. When water is toxic, chaotic, or dead, the nervous system cannot settle. But when water is coherent, structured, spiraled, alive, the inner rivers become calm. The system trusts, the temple holds. This is why we drink with intention, why we remember the technologies that spiral water back into order. Because coherent water is not luxury. It is the foundation of stabilization and therefore of ascension. So breathe now, beloved ones. Feel the rivers inside you. Whisper gratitude into your glass and let the waters whisper back. The nervous system is the bridge between flesh and star, between human and divine. When you stabilize it, you rebuild the Atlantean lattice within. Without this, the ray, the template, and the Christ frequency cannot stay. With it, the seed of Ra ignites, the Eye of Horus returns, and Godspeed carries you safely home. Remember, what was stolen cannot be kept from you any longer. The rivers are ready, the eye is ready, you are ready. Drink deeply, breathe slowly, and let your waters remember.